I know there's so many things that are being fired at you about this game and about the last game, but I'm particularly interested in just your assessment after a couple of weeks of a lot of close calls, some really good wins, some tight situations. How it's going for you, and how comfortable are you in this new position?
Oh, I'm very comfortable. I love coaching our kids here at LSU. We've asked them to do things almost 180 degrees from what they've done in the past, and they've jumped in with blind faith, doing things differently on a day-to-day basis. It's a process, as you know, Paul. Every single day they learn different things, how to prepare, how to practice, new systems, offense, defense, and special teams. And the one thing they continue to do is fight. They show grit, determination. We would like to be cleaner. Certainly, getting down 17-0 on the road is not the way you want to live. But they battle. And look, if you're going to build an identity, one with heart, one with determination, it's a good way to start.
I mean, you've won two very critical SEC games, tough situations. The one on the road the other night. If somebody said you're going to be down by that kind of score at Jordan-Hare Stadium, you're looking for the nearest bar probably to try to soothe your wounds. But what do you gain other than a win? You mentioned identity. Is that part of what happens after a road win like that?
Well, I think what we knew was this team would fight. I think what it does is when you're able to teach lessons after a win, you can't throw the ball for 85, 90 yards in the SEC and be a consistent winner. So it really forces you to look at your coaching, your teaching. It really forces you to look at how are you preparing, how are the players preparing. And allows that critical examination of everything that you're doing with a win. And so we can go out to the practice field and know that we're playing, an outstanding Tennessee team, but we have to get better. And if we're not better, you're not going to beat Tennessee on heart and determination. You're not going to beat Mississippi. You're not going to beat Florida at Florida, certainly not Alabama. So it really forces you to look inside and what you're doing and how you're doing it. And now if you're better at all the things that I just mentioned and you play with heart and determination, now you got something going.
Talking to Coach Brian Kelly as the Tigers get ready for Tennessee this weekend. I know you've been asked already and will continue to be asked a lot about Jayden Daniels. We had a great conversation with him the other day, and certainly his injury situation is paramount to your success. What is the latest on that, if you could share with us?
Yeah, I've always, Paul, felt like there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. If you're injured, our trainers are going to take care of you. They're going to pull you out of the game. If you're hurt, they're going to administer the things necessary and try to get you back in the game. He was hurt, but the pain level was pretty high. And so he wasn't able to finish the game, but he's much better today. And he'll be ready to play on Saturday. But that's the nature of a quarterback. That's one that likes to get out and run a little bit. He's going to get hurt sometimes, but injuries, he's not injured, and he'll be ready to go this Saturday.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you've been asked and will continue to be asked about Hendon Hooker, and I'm particularly interested in your thoughts on what you see when you look at him, and he's literally come not out of nowhere, because he was well known when he got to Tennessee, but now he's the talk of the country.
Yeah, Paul, I remember him when he was at Virginia Tech. I faced him, and I thought a lot of him back then when he was just a young player, big, athletic, strong, and if you think of him just as that, that's where you get beat, because he can throw the football as well. I just think he's a great competitor. He look at, first of all, he plays in an up-tempo offense. It's the fastest offense in the country. Obviously outproducing everybody. And then you have a guy that certainly is not getting the kind of notoriety yet, but I've seen a lot of really good quarterbacks, and this guy is as good as anybody that I've gone against, because he has the ability to break your defense down, because when he gets outside, he's big and physical and makes things happen.
Coach, we talked to you a lot during the offseason, and there's probably way too much conversation about the transition, I mean, from Notre Dame to where you are. But now that you're in this week to week, you were playing fantastic teams at Notre Dame across the country and throughout the world. But how would you describe what you're now experiencing as the week to week battles in the Southeastern Conference?
Yeah, fast and physical. I think the proliferation of the offensive talent for me has been probably the biggest thing. The skill talent, and then the interior defensive lines. Across the board. This weekend we're going to see probably 10 or 12 players roll in for Tennessee. So I think it's that consistent defensive line presence, and then the skilled players on the perimeter are just outstanding at this level in the SEC.
Coach, I'll let you go because I know that you're in the middle of game week. But final thoughts. Fans make a lot out of this at Tiger Stadium, and I realize this is your first year. The early start, you played at night. You played literally a lot of games at night so far. Is it much different getting ready for something like this? I mean, 11 o'clock is an early start for anything in my world, let alone a college football game.
Yeah. Look, they're college kids. Their schedule is they don't do much more before 2 o'clock. But look, at the end of the day, they're going to be ready. They'll be excited to play. I think we make a little bit too much of it. Everybody wants that primetime spot. When LSU's a little bit better and we're a top 10 team, I don't think we'll have to worry about time slots.